Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to your Lunch Break Live. My name is Ivana. It is Monday, February the 8th, and today is a big day in Alabama, and that is because the eligibility for coronavirus vaccinations has opened up to about 1 million more people. Now, that eligibility is open to people 65 and older, and then a whole host of other categories that we will make sure are listed here in the comments and a link for you to find, and I'll go over them in detail in a minute. But we've got our own Montgomery reporter, Mike Cason. He is in Montgomery at the site of a new vaccination clinic that opened today. And that site is one of 8 mass vaccination sites across the state. So, Mike, we can see that you're in front of a fire station, and tell us a little bit about where you are and what's happening there.
Well, this is the site of the old Montgomery Mall on McGee Road and the East-South Boulevard in Montgomery. It closed as a mall about 15 years ago, but there's a fire station here now, a couple of schools, and I'm going to turn around and let you see where they're giving people the shots. As you can see, people pull up in the vehicles in the old fire station, and that's where they receive their shots, and then they're directed over to a parking area for the 15-minute wait, to see if there's any reaction.
Right. Well, Mike, flip your phone around so we can see that, and we can get a look at that site. I know that.
Okay.
That works. Thank you.
Sorry about that.
Technical difficulties that happen. So you're at the site of that former Montgomery Mall, and it's a fire station that is kind of on that property. And that's one of 8 mass vaccination sites that have opened up today for that new group of people that are eligible to get their vaccine. Now, Mike, show us where that line is for people to get in. I know that's right now, that's where people are getting their shots at that fire station, but can you kind of tell us what that parking lot is and then where the actual line is?
Okay, the line is out there on McGee Road. As far as you can see, there's cars lined up on McGee Road. It's been like that since I got here about an hour and a half ago. And so it's a pretty long wait to get in. Once they get in, as I said, that's where they get their shots. It looks like there's 3 rows of vehicles lining up in there for shots. It looks like they give about 4 at a time, and then they release them over to here to the other area. But
now, something that I think is interesting about this site where you are in Montgomery is that this is a no appointment necessary site. This is a first come, first serve location. And Mike, I know that you just got there about an hour ago, but do you have any idea maybe of how long people are waiting or how it's moving there? Is it moving smoothly?
I don't really have any idea of how long people are waiting. It's got to be a good while, just based on how long the line is. But yes, it seems to be moving smoothly. There's an army of people here working, directing traffic, and you can see the healthcare workers in there talking to people and giving the shots. So it seems to be moving smoothly, but I'm sure it's testing people's patience to some extent, but just because of the number of people here.
Right. Now, the sites that have opened across the state, there are several in Birmingham. There's actually 3 drive-through clinics, or about to be 3. The one at Parker High School in Birmingham opens later this week. There is currently one at UAB Hospital around that area and one at the Hoover Met. But those other 8 sites that have opened this week are including in cities Mobile, Anniston, Auburn, Dothan, Montgomery, Selma, Tuscaloosa, and Huntsville. So they've kind of tried to strategically place those across the state so that people have access. But the concern here, Mike, and I think this is something that everybody is unfortunately too aware of, just because 1 million more Alabamians are becoming eligible does not mean that there is a vaccine with their name on it waiting for them.
Well, that's right. And the state health officer, Dr. Scott Harris, as you know, has pointed that out, that, we have expanded the number of people who can get shots, but there's still the fundamental problem that there's not enough to go around. So it's going to, so the good thing about the expanded eligibility is more people are eligible. So you're hitting more groups of people that really need the shots, but then there's even more. The supply, or the demand, exceeds the supply even more than it did last week.
Mm-hmm. Now, I'm sorry if you hear my four-legged co-host in the back. We're going to talk over him. But the plans at all of these sites are to vaccinate or give out about 5,000 vaccinations per week. That's about 1,000 per day, and that's per site. So I'm going to look through some of these comments, Mike, while you just kind of give us a look there. And somebody asked about Blount County. I do not know of a location in Blount County. I know that we have Mobile, Birmingham, Anniston, Auburn, Dothan, Montgomery, Selma, Tuscaloosa, and Huntsville. Now, there is a link that one of my producers is going to put in this comment thread where you can click, and it'll give you all of the info about those sites. I've got it on my phone. So it looks to be, these are all the addresses, all the information. So if you need one specifically, ask me and I can give it to you and let you know. But it looks like Montgomery is one of the few locations where there is no appointment necessary. Selma also has no appointment necessary, but they do ask you to complete a registration form beforehand. And that link for the registration form is in that AL.com article that we're going to put here in these comments. But the other ones, I believe, are all appointment based, and their appointments have been filled, which just goes back to what Mike and I were saying, that people, just because that eligibility has expanded, that just means more people are trying to get their shot. April, you asked about Birmingham. There are several clinics. There is one outside of UAB Hospital towards the UAB Highlands area, if you're familiar with the South Side. There's also one at the Hoover Met in Hoover, a site at Parker High School in downtown Birmingham towards the north side of Birmingham. That'll open later this week. Catherine asks about Mobile. So there are several places in Mobile. Again, you can click on that link and we'll give you times and the addresses, but that is at Dayspring Baptist Church, Pro Health Fitness Center, the Mobile Civic Center, and Spring Hill Medical Center. And those are listed, their times and everything are listed on the site. But keep in mind, Mobile is appointment. I believe these are all appointment only. So you cannot just walk up and get your shot like you can in Selma and Montgomery. Diane, what is the age at this time that's eligible? So we've got people that are 65 and older are eligible, along with first responders and healthcare workers. I have this list in front of me. I'm just going to read it to make sure I don't forget anybody. That includes frontline critical workers, USPS workers. Go ahead, Mike.
I'm sorry, I was just speaking to somebody.
Oh, no, you're good. Manufacturing workers, grocery store workers, public transit workers, workers in the education sector and in childcare sector, judiciary workers, and people who work or live in congregate settings. So that's who's eligible right now. Mike, give us a little bit of a look at where you are right now. Tell us what's happening there.
Well, I'm just outside the fire station, and this is where they stop the vehicles in 3 rows. It looks like 4 or 5 at a time in each row. And that's where they actually give the shots inside the fire station there. And then you can see the people rolling out after they get their shots.
Are the people encouraged to wait for 15 minutes like we've seen at some of these other sites before they drive away?
Right. There's a little designated parking area over here, and that's where they do their 15-minute wait.
While you give us a look at that, I'm going to get to some more of these questions. Somebody, and I cannot find your name now, but somebody asked about Phoenix City. I think that was Jacqueline. Your closest site operated by ADPH. Let's remember there's 2 different categories here. These are sites that the Alabama Department of Public Health has released those information. So there are other sites that are operated by clinics and other things. But from the ADPH, that's closest site to Phoenix City, Jacqueline, is going to be in Auburn. I don't have that address right here, but we can get it for you. Reese asks, how do I make an appointment for locations in Jefferson County? Reese, if you fit into those categories that are eligible, we'll leave you a link here so you can see that. And I don't have it on my phone right here on the top of my head, but we'll get you that link. Now, Mike, I know that you're sitting there, you're watching these people come through and get vaccinated. We've seen a couple other people walking around in kind of the area where you are. Are those volunteers, or what is happening there?
I'm not sure who everybody is, but I would think there probably are some volunteers here. Nobody specifically told me they were a volunteer, but there's media here, there's police, there's I'm sure lots of Baptist Health employees here. I saw some people from the Department of Public Health here. So to answer your question, I don't know who everybody is, but there are a ton of people here making this operation go.
So, but these people, it is not a walk-up site. You have to drive through. Is that correct?
I don't know if they have accommodations for people walking up or not. I think they probably do, but I don't see that. I don't know. That's a question I'll ask when I get a chance to talk to somebody to get a sort of a comprehensive explanation.
Now, Carolyn says, I live in Shelby County. Can I get a shot in Jefferson County? Yes, Carolyn. It doesn't matter what county you get your shot in versus where you live. If you can get an appointment somewhere, you're good to do that in that county. Debbie asked about Shelby County sites. Now, I don't think that any of those 8 mass sites that open this week are in Shelby County, but I could stand corrected. Let me scroll through the information I have right in front of me. On Debbie, I was looking to make sure I had your name. I'm not sure about the Shelby County, any of those new sites being in Shelby County. I'll get back with you on that. Rita, you do need an appointment for Montgomery. No, you do not need an appointment for the Montgomery or the Selma site. Mike, you said you've been there about an hour and a half, and I know you didn't have a good handle necessarily on wait times, but have you seen anybody try to get out of line, or does it seem like people are just patiently waiting?
No, I haven't seen anybody try to get out of line. I don't know how you would do that, the way they've got it set up. It's pretty cut and dried how you get in and out of here. So I haven't seen anything like that, no.
Rita asking who can get it. No, Rita, this is open to that new group of people who are eligible beginning today, February the 8th. I can list those again, but that is essentially 65 and up, people 65 and up, and then also people who fall into different categories of what the state is considered essential workers.
I'll walk here so you can get a little better look at the traffic line.
That would be great, Mike, if you don't mind. If you walk that way, I'll look at another question or two here. I've got Marianne. Okay. Any timeline on people under 65 with underlying conditions? Marianne, unfortunately, we do not have that timeline. We do expect the people that have underlying conditions and other health conditions will be eligible maybe in the next group. But unfortunately, we just opened that eligibility for 65 and up in those frontline workers, essential workers that work in, again, grocery or manufacturing, public transit. That was just open today. So I would not suspect that the underlying conditions are going to be open in the next week or so. I think they're going to give this group of 1 million more Alabamians who are eligible time to try to get vaccinated before they open that eligibility. Again, I don't have a firm date. I don't know that for sure. Mike, this traffic, I couldn't tell back from where you were, but now you can really get a good look at how bad this traffic is.
Right. And it's been like this, like I said, since I got here a couple hours ago. Yes, as far as you can see, down McGee Road is the line. So I don't know how far the line goes, but it goes as far as we can see.
When you drove in to get to the site, did you notice where the traffic ended, or was it just as far as you could see?
It was just as far as I could see because I came in from the other direction, so I haven't traced how far back it goes.
This is bumper to bumper traffic. If you continue to keep panning there and give us that look up front and that line. So I'm going to get you to move. Just stop right there and let me ask you a quick question. That line that's going up, is that about to enter the fire station, or is there still a good distance before they get into the fire station?
There's a short distance. They take that right turn there, and then they go another short distance, but it's not too far from where they are.
So they're getting close once they get to that bend.
Yes, they're getting close. And it looks like it's just one line going in. And then at some point they break it up into 3 lines that are under the fire station there.
Got a question from Debbie about registration forms. Mike, have you seen anybody filling out registration forms once they arrive at that site?
I haven't, but I'm sure they're doing that. I don't know at what point you do that. I don't know if there's maybe an initial screening point where they're check you before you actually get into the fire station. But I'm sorry, I don't know exactly. I know that they said, bring your ID to show your age, and if you're in one of the other categories that's eligible, bring the appropriate ID to prove that, like if you're a teacher or whatever. One of the other categories.
Now, on something that we have on AL.com on the list of all these addresses of the sites, there is registration available online through baptistfirst.org. Again, that's baptistfirst.org for this Montgomery site, where you do not need an appointment. But I'm not sure if there's a place you can register when you arrive if you don't have the capability to do it online, or if you just don't want to to do it online. Question about Lauderdale County is North Alabama. None of these exact locations are in Lauderdale County that we're talking about. There is a location in Huntsville, which I would probably guess of these locations would be closest to you, Michael, in Lauderdale County. That Huntsville clinic, though, for this one that opened this week, all appointments have been filled. But you can go to Huntsville Hospital's website at huntsvillehospital.org/COVID-19-vaccination. And you can try to register for an appointment there. But at this time, it looks like all appointments there have been filled. Again, all that information is in that link. But I did see, Michael, you had asked that several times. Now, Mike, does everybody that you have seen, does everybody seem to be kind of in a good mood, glad to get their vaccine, or are you seeing more frustration?
I've not seen any frustration. I've seen some people smiling and, appear to be relieved, but I actually haven't seen that many people up close to know. But no, I haven't seen any signs of any frustration or anything like that.
And I asked that mainly because a few minutes ago, I saw you holding the camera, showing us that fire station, and there was a group of people that were clapping and smiling. So that's why I asked there.
Yeah, that was like a few family members that were very happy to have gotten their shots.
Well, good for them. I've got Mary Ann asking about Baldwin County. Now, there is a Mobile site, so I know that would be Mobile County, not Baldwin. There's several in Mobile: Dayspring Baptist Church, Pro Health Fitness Center, the Mobile Civic Center, and Spring Hill Medical Center. Again, that's all in that link that we're going to leave in this comment thread, so you can see that, and you don't have to write it down as I talk, but. Mike, anything else we need to know about this site? I know it is no appointment necessary. You can register online. It's a drive-through clinic. Anything else we need to know there?
Well, it'll be open the rest of the week. Each day, they give shots from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. And I believe it opens at 8. But I'm not sure if that matters because people are going to be lining up before 8. But it'll be open, through Friday like the other 7 clinics around the state.
Awesome. Mike, thank you so much for taking us kind of inside this clinic. Thank you for being out there. Stay safe and, make sure you're staying safe. Everybody who's been watching, thank you so much. If you want to get a look inside of some of these other clinics like we did today in Montgomery during this week, please drop a comment. Let me know. And again, we appreciate you all. Stay safe. We'll see you tomorrow.